Hi, welcome to Dalit Camera. I want to tell you something is, I don't know how much I'm thankful for my Dalit Camera subscribers. We have reached 1 lakh subscribers after 12 years without ad, without any promotion activity, without any proper videos with the quality audio and video. But now I'm making this video. See, there was this EPW's issue, December 7, 2024, and there was a special article on the futures of caste, written by Surendra Jodhka, a JNU professor. See, actually, this is the same professor who laughed when I gave an interview in CSDS. He was an interview board, and I said, "See, there is a unstudied chapter in caste that which studies about the space." And they were laughing. He, Gopal Guru, all were there. And Surendra Jodhka was laughing and he said, "Is it there? Is there that space has something to do with caste?" They laughed at it. And then also I find his writing on that's the same person who wrote this article. So I just want to say, EPW has some history. See, EPW, Aniket Alam, Javed Alam's son, he was the editor of EPW. It's only then people like me were given a space to write and to publish. And he used to invite, actually. There were new people whom he invited. See, that is the article which got published, was referred in Supreme Court judgment of giving subclassification. So that much Aniket Alam, and as an editor, he was there. So what I want to say is, all my viewers, I think students will be watching it also from JNU, HCU and others from regional medium. For all of them I want to say, it's not that we don't have intellectuality. This is Professor Satyanarayana used to also say, as a Dalit professor from English and Foreign Languages University, that it is not about intellectuality. We all have intellectuality. We don't get the space to express our thoughts. And when I got a chance, and that article was referred by the Supreme Court to deliver a judgment. So that much of intellectual potential people we are, but we don't get. And now I have sent an article to EPW to publish. Even when Gopal Guru was an editor of EPW, I think he literally threw off Anand Teltumde. And Anand Teltumde is a Dalit, okay? He was writing a Dalit Speak or something, Speak weekly he was writing. And he was thrown out without even any notice. So that much of hatred is there among Dalits also. So that is one thing I want to refer before I want to analyze this article. Why I'm analyzing this? You see, Dalit Camera is a space which gave me everything in my life. If there is no Dalit Camera, I don't think I would have had anything in my life. It's only Dalit Camera. So therefore I just want to, before writing even a review, I want to tell my audience what is the problem with this. See, actually Surendra Jodhka says that caste is not related to Hinduism. It is more than that. See, one thing is, it's very sad, Surendra Jodhka being traveling with Dalits for so long, and he writes this article without even any kind of a proper study on that, understanding on caste. If he would have understood the caste, then he would have not mocked at me when I gave an interview in CSDS about the space and caste. See, I argue, in India, the architectural space itself has caste, because our caste studies have reduced to human beings. So Surendra Jodhka's study is also flawed in that. In that article, he basically says that caste is above Hinduism, but we are restricting to Hinduism, and Hinduism is not a holistic concept that you can evaluate. You can study India from the perspective of Hinduism. That's what his argument is. See, I'm very, very shocked. I'm very shocked. Ambedkar, in 1940s and 1990s, he wrote articles about caste, and he evaluated the entire caste, and he spent his entire energy. After that, most of the Dalit writers and Dalit activists have been saying that Hinduism is central to caste. Then Surendra Jodhka comes and says there is no Hinduism per se, but it is more than that. I do not even know what he says. At one point he says that caste is, you cannot reduce that from Manusmriti Vedas. See, he thinks that many of the writers who say that caste is not related to Hinduism, and they have to know Indian law, especially the family law, is classical example is the family law talks about Vedas to describe about family. So our laws have taken inspiration from Hindu literatures. That is one. That is point. The second thing is, see, caste is not about human bodies. It is Hinduism, and you're reducing that Hinduism. See, Hinduism is one concept. It's not about religion alone. Hinduism is a concept of talking about ideology of who's upper, who's lower. So in that way, Hinduism is there. It is a secular concept also. So therefore, you cannot take the secular concept and tell that Hinduism is never related to the secular concept. No, Hinduism's concept itself is a secular concept. We have made it. See, for example, Lohia. I was reading about Lohia book, and that Lohia also talks about Hinduism. Like when Ambedkar wrote, he says that caste and class is very important. So this is one aspect of everybody talks about class and caste, and they say that caste is not important. Class is very important. So in this article, the flawed argument is actually he is repeating the same old stories. But one writer whom I respect a lot is Louis Dumont, who talks about purity and pollution in caste. And nobody is here to understand. Everybody says that this is modernist, he's a Western writer who writes, and they'll say Britishers who bought the caste. No, Britishers never bought the caste. Britishers were accommodating caste. That much they can't understand. See, it is like a Hindutva argument. I would say Surendra Jodhka's argument is another face of Hindutva argument, where you say Hinduism does not have much to do with caste. It is an external factor. It is actually a flawed argument. I can prove even theoretically. For example, let me say, why is across India, irrespective of religion, why Dalits are discriminated? Dalits are discriminated because they are considered to be untouchables. How are they considered as an untouchable? That comes, he is a pure. For example, Gandhi would say, it's a Gandhian argument also, Surendra Jodhka's. Gandhian argument would be that, say that you wash your body twice, everybody will respect you. Like that they would say. This is a classical secular argument. See, Gandhi never said you are untouchable. Gandhi said you are untouchable because you are doing unclean. But the point is, Ambedkar was saying, I am doing unclean because of my untouchable status. So therefore, Gandhian argument is a flawed argument, similar to Jodhka's argument. Gopal Guru, Satyanarayana, so many writers have been writing about how caste is ingrained in Indian society and how caste is rooted with Hinduism. And Surendra Jodhka writes a special article saying that it is not. It's very funny. I don't know. These professors, actually Indian professors, literally I'm saying, they only blame. So for example, there was one writer, V.S. Naipaul. He came to India and he wrote a paper that India stinks everywhere. Suddenly all the sociologists, upper caste sociologists got very angry about Naipaul and they started protecting India. So it is always like that. When somebody writes about caste, they would immediately say that they're Orientalist. If Britishers write something, they'll say Britishers bought everything. And they leave the responsibility to some other thing. I think that is seriously a problem argument, and I think Surendra Jodhka's argument has to be rejected completely, and I think that is a very Hindutva's another phase of argument, I would say. And maybe I would write an article to print or somewhere to criticize, to write about the problem of his approach on caste. Thank you. Please subscribe Dalit Camera.